Let me turn my battles off. All right, Alexa, stop. All right, guys, welcome to The Big Idea with Jewelz. We're still a new show, so we are working on getting a banner and also we're working on getting an intro for the show. So right now it's our second episode. Hopefully by next week we'll have an intro and we'll have a banner. So when we have that, we'll definitely be utilizing it. I'm really excited. This is our second episode. We have two amazing guests that I'm super excited to get in the box and start asking them questions and diving deep behind their endeavors and what they're doing. We have our first guest is going to be Jordan. Jordan is a top badge on here. He is a musician. He's absolutely incredible. So we're going to ask him questions about his music, his passions, and just dive deep and get to know him a little bit better. And then thank you guys. Thank you. Just so you guys know, when I'm doing this, I'll probably have the comments off. And then we have Mike. We are going to have a great conversation with him. I'm super excited to have him in. Mike F. Bell, everyone. Please make sure you hit both of my guests with a favorite. So we're going to go ahead and get started. This is The Big Idea. Like a rainbow over my head or something. Anyway, Jordan, if you want to go ahead and request the box. Yay.
Yeah, so sadly, I actually am not a top badge yet, but
oh, sorry. I'm so sorry. You will be.
yeah, I'm working on it. I've applied many times, and I'm not.
100%. You're gonna get that so fast. It's not even funny.
I
Well,
wish it was like that. I've been applying for the past 4 months, and I still haven't got it. So
you know what?
I
Just so
appreciate
you know, it took me 6 months. So you keep going for it, apply every week, and you'll get it. You are an amazing streamer. You have amazing content.
Thank you so much.
Am I behind the box or where am I right now? Is this good?
For me, you're good, but I think for them, you want to be behind me. So I think
Guys,
no, you're good.
Here, I'm good here.
Other way. Sorry, back. Yes, right there is good. I
It's
think.
confusing because sometimes it's good the other way.
Okay, never mind. Okay, never mind. My bad. Back.
No,
Back. Sorry. Okay, I guess so. In other words, I can see you now, and I guess they can see you too.
You guys can see me.
Okay, in the past, it was the opposite. If I could see you, that means they couldn't see you. But I guess it's changed now, apparently. So.
Yeah, it's so confusing. It's fine. Okay, perfect. I'll just stare straight at you, and
this is kind of awkward now. No, I'm just kidding.
Jordan Jeremiah. So I came into your stream. I heard you sing. I heard a little bit about what you are doing. Can you just kind of introduce yourself to everyone and tell them a little bit about maybe how you got started in music?
Yeah, so hello everyone. My name is Jordan Jeremiah. No,
I was really confused for a second.
No, so I think Andrew is the one that told you about me, right? And it kind of happened a lot pretty quick to get onto your show, so I appreciate it. But
Thank you.
I've always liked to sing my whole life, and my family was a really big sports family growing up, and then for many different reasons, sports kind of ended for me. And then after high school, I wanted to do music. Actually do music, like try to become a singer. And my dad's like, get an education and then try to do that. I'm like, all right, fine. So to appease my dad, I went and got a degree. I went and got a mechanical engineering degree at Oregon State. And then during my stint at Oregon State, about halfway through, my love for music kind of came back, and it kind of got reinvigorated through a song by Shawn Mendes called Mercy. I heard a guy covering it on The Voice, and I was like, oh, I like that song. I was like, oh, I want to learn how to play that on the piano. So that was kind of the beginning, kind of reigniting that desire to do music. Yeah. And then, so I started learning piano, and then eventually I'm like, I'm going to learn piano. I want to learn piano and guitar. So about halfway through my college career, I was working on piano and guitar. And then eventually I was like, I just want to focus on one and try to get great at one. And so I chose guitar. So for the past 3 years, I've been really focusing on guitar. And I've always, and again, it's to accompany singing, right? Because singing is my true passion. Omaha! Yeah, so that's kind of the motive, was to have, an accompanying instrument to sing. So for the past year, I've been learning guitar, and I've been learning, just learning a lot of cover songs and practicing and singing. And about up till last September, sorry, not last September, the September before that. My bad. So not the September that just passed, the September before that.
Mhm.
Um, for about at that point, it had been about 2 years. I'd been practicing, and I was, singing songs in front of my TV, right? Practice, practice, practice in front of my TV. Practicing. You're basically by myself. And then during that time, my brother had a friend that was like, "Hey, you need to get on this app. It's actually a different app. Nothing compared to Mimi, but anyway, I got on that app, and it was decent. I made some actually decent money on there, but then it kind of fell off. And so I got into that app like 2 Septembers ago. During that time, I met a guy who's also a singer. He's on this app as well. I don't know if I'll say his name, but he's a singer as well on this app. And he actually was like, "Dude, you need to get onto Mimi." And at first, I was like, I was a little skeptical. The other app kind of fell through, and I was like, I don't know if I want to do this again. And so he's like, "Dude, trust me, you got to do it, bro. It's way better." And I was like, "Oh, fine, let's try it." So, first couple of times, like, this is kind of weird, kind of, I don't know if I'm feeling it. He's like, "Dude, trust me, just stay with it, just stay with it." So I stayed with it, and after about 3 weeks, I was finally like, "Dang, this is actually legit. Like there's some real potential with this app. Like, what the heck?" And like ever since the beginning, there was already a lot more traction. Like on this app, you get so many people coming into your stream just naturally. So, and that's something way different than the other app. Like you get like 2 people every hour. You feel like you're like, "What are you doing?" But here,
Yeah.
even from the beginning, I was singing songs, and I had people like, "Oh my goodness." But honestly, you can have a half decent voice on this app, and people will still like cheer you on, which is awesome. But so anyway, so yeah, I got a lot of love and stuff from that, and eventually, obviously, we started to really try to focus in on trying to get gifts and stuff, of course. But
Mhm.
yeah, and it kind of just molded from there, and then you just continued to grow, and then yeah, now I'm like, this is like my everyday thing. So
That's so awesome. And that's
and
so cool that, like definitely this is a platform. It's what you make of it, right? So if you
right,
want to come on here and be a musician, then people are going to support that. If you're on here being a writer, people are going to support that. So, you're one of those stories where you come on and you show your passion and then people back it up, which is amazing. I want to
right.
go back to your childhood. When did you realize that you liked singing? What was the moment? What was the situation where that became apparent to you?
Well, that's a great question. So we grew up in like a church that like the whole family sang. I mean, not the
Mm.
whole family, the whole church sang. It wasn't a choir or anything. Like it was like a cappella singing. Everyone sang. So
Oh
that's kind of
yeah.
where I started to learn how to sing. But my true love for singing became during my sister. She's like, I have a sister. I have 3 siblings, 2 older brothers, 1 younger sister. My
Ooh,
sister developed the Bieber fever.
okay.
Um, and and during that time, I fell in love with Bieber as well. And his
Are you a
music,
believer? Are you a
I am
believer?
a believer all the way. F the haters. I was good. No, I love Bieber. I mean, obviously he's not perfect and all this stuff, but I do love Justin Bieber. And he honestly is the initial person. I was like 12 or 11 that really inspired me to love, like that really gave me a love for singing. I was like, I would basically just try to sing like him. I was like, "Oh, I could sing like this. I could sing like this." And it was just like that was
I
just
could
something I
do
was
better
inspired
than
to do.
him.
Not necessarily better, but I'm like, I could do this and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, outside of the crazy notes he'd hit, at that age. But now he's more in my range how he sings now. But anyway, so yeah, so that kind of was the first inspiration. I was like, "Frick, I really love to sing." I would love to try to sing his songs that he would do.
That's
And then,
awesome.
but the thing is, throughout, from that age till through high school, I was really big into sports, mainly football and being a quarterback. So I was like where I put all of my extracurricular energy was into becoming a star quarterback. And then a lot of that stuff kind of fell through in high school. And then that's when like slowly music came back. I used to have like these visions that like, I'm going to go to the NFL and then I'm going to try to go on American Idol. But then, football kind of fell through, and then I didn't know what I wanted to do. And then, like I said, with the whole college thing, and then Shawn Mendes is kind of the guy who brought it back for me, kind of brought that love for music back.
That's interesting that these points of your life, right, where you were checking in with your singing talent, they're surrounded by singers, right? Like first it was Justin Bieber, Shawn Mendes. And so you
Yes.
mentioned your siblings. Are your siblings artists as well, or are you the artist in the family?
Yeah, I'm the only artist. Like I draw cheetahs. I draw, no,
I
uh,
love cats. I love it. I
I
love
was
it
gonna-
all.
No, I'm just kidding. But my siblings, they sing as well. But we all growing up. I mean, what kid doesn't think, oh, like, oh man, that'd be awesome if I could be a famous singer, kind of thing, right? But
Right.
the reality is like, not everyone can do that, But I think my siblings would have loved to if they felt like it was actually achievable, but they didn't really think it was. And in my family, especially in a religious family, it was kind of like, oh, you shouldn't do that kind of thing. But so they sing
Right.
as well, but I'm like the only one actually pursuing it as a career at this point.
I understand. And then, so, the show is the big idea where we interview people who have entrepreneurial ideas and aspirations. I understand that you actually have some music out. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so we have a single called Cheap Cologne out on all platforms. I actually, man, I don't like how much time do we have? Because I don't want to like, get into too much detail if we don't have time.
You have some time. You have some time.
All right, I'll try to say as fast as I can. So basically, quarantine happened, right? The pandemic. I'm in my spring. I have one spring left of college in Oregon State. I'm on spring break. I was literally planning the first spring break trip ever with my friends. I've never really done a spring break trip beyond just going home for spring break, right? Because that's in Oregon, right? And I'm from LA. Normally, I just go home to LA for the week of spring break. But I was like planning a trip and everything. Bum bum bum. Anyway, spring break comes and the pandemic hits, and boom, many changes right then and there. We were going to go on a cruise that got canceled, and the spring break plans kind of just got kiboshed at that point. But at that point, spring term was going to restart about 3 weeks into the term. So I was like, okay, I'll be home for about 3 weeks of the beginning of the term, and then we'll start back. Anyway, long story short, about a day into spring break, they're like, spring break is canceled. It's going to be all online. So I literally flew back up to Oregon, got all my stuff. My car was literally completely full to the top. I couldn't even see out the right side of the car. Drove all the way home, and I had to do spring term online back at the house. So anyway, I'm finishing my degree. I'm still like, frick, what am I going to do after my degree? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? I finally finish. And at that point, I'd already been doing some Meet Me and stuff. And I had been dabbling in music, right?
Right.
This past summer. And right when I finished, I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going all in. I'm going to pursue music full time. And Meet Me was kind of opening that door because like I was doing Meet Me, I was like making enough money to survive, so that on my free time outside of Meet Me, I could focus on building my music career. So
Yeah. Yeah. It's awesome.
I also during that time there was in the works my best friend from college who got he's a veterinarian and he got an internship in Nashville. During that time, he met a guy who does music in Nashville. That dude convinced me to do an EP with him, a 6-song EP, so 6 songs. So I did 6 songs with him, and I was gonna start to release music on my own completely. I released a song called Love Was. It is now taken down. A lot of people did like it, but anyway, I took that down. And during that time, through these 2 apps I've been on, I've connected with another guy. A lot of people in here know him, Scott Mulligan. Awesome dude. But he actually was like, dude, he heard the music and he's like, bro, what are you doing, bro? Like, you gotta come work with me and Sam, and that's where I'm at right now. And he's like, dude, we could get you some much better music. So anyway, I completely went away from that, and now I'm on this track with them. With my producer, whose name is Sam, and I live with him, and I live with Scott now in LA. And I'm kind of going a different direction. I was going like a country music direction, but now I'm going pop music. So presently with this, I was trying to jump to where I'm at now, really, as fast as I could. I don't really know if everyone caught what was going on there.
Take your time.
But
yeah, you're good.
anyway, now I'm with Scott and Sam, and Sam is the one producing all the music. So I have a single out called Cheap Cologne right now on all platforms. We have another single dropping on the 29th of January. With actually a pretty big NBA player, which is pretty exciting. So that's kind of cool. He has like 9 million on Instagram and stuff. So that's that'll hopefully give me some views and stuff as I'm building.
Yeah.
And then we have a full album coming out in February, and then another full album coming out in April. So we got a lot of stuff happening on the music front. But yeah, it is on YouTube. I have music videos and stuff out. But as far as in relation to business, it really is like being an artist is really like building your own business from scratch. There might be
ways, right? It's harder in some ways because you're using your talent rather than just like, oh, I'm going to build a business based on this concept or that concept. Like you're putting yourself out there. You're being vulnerable, right?
Right,
You're setting
right.
yourself up. In a sense, like it's a fearless thing to do to go out there and build a business based on your talent because some people are going to
Yes,
like it and some people aren't, right? It's not like
exactly.
math where 2 + 2 = 4 no matter what. Some people are going to love your voice and some people might not. So, kudos to you for your bravery. So, okay,
Thank
I
you.
have to go back to this cheap cologne. Okay, first of all, the title is amazing.
Thank you.
Did you write the lyrics yourself? What was the inspiration behind that particular
So,
song?
so we actually co-wrote it, and to be basically the inspiration is essentially like this guy, I'm in a relationship, and it's about this girl, and it's not like a true to me, but the concept is how this girl was there from the beginning before I made it, when we were struggling, when we were you know we were we were really just struggling with life, and she was there, through thick and thin, but now we made it, now we're at the top, now we've gotten to our destination, to the goals that I've been, in my dreams and aspirations. And the cheap cologne is like a symbol of where I was. And then at the end of but then during the song, it's like where I am now. And, and this love story of where, how she stayed through there, stayed through it
Real
all.
one.
So
Yeah, she was a real one. She stayed through the cheap cologne, right?
yeah. And a lot of people think like every song out there is like, oh, this is like a true story to that person, or like this must like be true to them, or this or that, but it's not,
Right,
that's not necessarily the case. It's just like a
right.
concept that is, that has been existent in history, and we
Mhm.
kind of made a song about it. But
That's awesome. So you said that you co-wrote it. Do you write your own songs? Do you have some originals?
yes, and but so like basically my producer does majority of the producing and writing and stuff, but we, with that particular song and several other ones on the album, we wrote it together. There's one song that I wrote completely by myself, but
That's so cool. So when you are okay, so sometimes I sing here and there, and I can tell you like when I sing, like it comes from like an emotional place, right? So
yes.
like when you are getting ready to perform, when you're getting ready to sing, do you have some kind of like procedure you go through mentally? What goes through your mind before you perform, if anything? What's
Are
your
you
system for getting
so that
ready?
are you talking like on Meet Me, or just like a live
In
performance?
general, just performing in general. Like, what do you do? Mind exercises? Do you go into a creative space with your head? What's your
Yeah, so
process before you
honestly,
perform?
on Meet Me, it's become in Meet Me in particular, it's become kind of a, I've been doing it so much. It's kind of just like a natural thing. I don't really overthink it. I just kind of get on there. And when I sing, I have such a passion for it. I think, it just kind of comes out naturally without me having to really think about it. Once I just start singing, I just really start to feel it. And I
Mm-hmm.
think it just kind of happens during the process of actually performing. But I don't like, but as far as like on Meet Me, but that's a little different, right? Because you're not like having a live audience. I don't have a whole lot of live experience yet, because again, like I just finished my degree, and then
Mm-hmm.
ever since I finished the degree, it's been the pandemic. I would have, we would have been doing live shows by now, but the pandemic has kind of kiboshed that. So I
Okay.
have had a little bit of a live experience during college, but nothing tremendous. But
And then
yeah, I
it's
don't really
very
overthink about mentally getting ready, because to me it's just
right.
like I just love to do it. So once I'm out there and I'm singing, it's
You're just
just I just feel
excited.
it.
You're ready for
I
it.
just
And
get
you
into it. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like even growing up, I would have like a lot of friends, like even in high school, that would be like, "Hey, can you sing for us?" And I'm like, I was like, I'm sorry, it's gonna be kind of weird, because like I get really into it, and it's like
Mhm.
unless I'm like actually performing, I don't really want to sing. It's like, because it's just kind of
Yeah.
weird. I'm like, I don't want to. It's not really the setting. We're in class, and it's like it's kind of awkward if I just get into it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's
Amy,
so
thank you so
okay.
much.
So if you can imagine your career like in 10 years, right?
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself? Do you have other entrepreneurial ideas you're thinking of? Is music a way to kind of open things up for you? Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Um, in 10 years, honestly, the goal is to be able to, perform, do music full time, like as an artist. And, maybe invest in different ways to be smart with my money, but that's not really goals. The goals is literally just to become, as independently making money on music as possible.
Because that's your passion. That's where your heart is.
Yeah, to be able to perform and put out music and be able to, thrive off of that. And, whether it be through endorsements as well and stuff, but really just becoming as big as I can possibly as an artist and, yeah, and just making that my actual career. But,
Right.
the hope is to not have to not need to have any other avenues, but, obviously to be smart and to continue to, develop wealth. Obviously, you might do certain things, but that's not, but the specific goal is to be able to, make a living on music, and do
Absolutely.
that
And
and
you'll
do
get
that at the highest level possible. Obviously you want to
absolutely.
shoot for the stars,
100%.
you want to shoot for the stars, but at the end of the day, it's really just making a living on music, and be able to eventually support a family with it, so.
Absolutely. That's awesome. So I just kind of want to go back to an interesting piece of information, right? So you actually have a background as an engineer. You have schooling as an engineer. What
Yeah.
made you get into that? Let's go back into your childhood a little bit here. Like,
Yeah.
what
So,
engineer turned musician. That's awesome.
yeah. So like, back in the day, I would say this joke, like as we're growing up is, okay, it looks like Marty's saying, Marty has to leave soon. Anyway, sorry. Uh, sorry, I don't know.
Sorry, yeah, you can
But
click on the screen and get rid of the comments if you want. So
okay, let me click on it.
yeah,
But
you can, yeah.
sorry,
It's you and me.
Okay. I always feel bad. I'm like, sorry, but so basically, growing up, we were a pretty athletic family. Like we love sports and stuff. And my brothers and sister would be outside balling, right, playing basketball. I'd be inside mathing. I love math. I'd be getting my math on. No,
Hey, math teacher, let's go.
I know. I'm just kidding. No, I didn't love it that much, but no, math. Honestly, for me and my two brothers, my sister was not good at math. But for school, I didn't mind it. It wasn't like, oh my goodness, I love math. Like I'd rather be playing or singing or whatever, than doing schoolwork. But for school, it was within the confines of school and academics. Math is something that I naturally excelled in. I was always, one of the best at it, naturally. And it was similar with my brothers. We all kind of went down a route that had some connection to math. Like my brother's a medical physicist. So, through physics, which is a lot of math. And then my other brother's an accountant. And then, he's left that now, but, and I'm I went into engineering because after I finished high school, I was like, I don't know what I want to do. My dad really wants me to go get an education. And I was like, all right, I really enjoy math. I also enjoyed physics in high school. And I did some research, and then I felt like a lot of people were saying you should try engineering. And so then I was like, okay. So then I looked in, there's like 10 or tons of different engineering, like structural engineer, civil engineer, electrical engineer, chemical engineer, all these different things. So I just kind of did a quick, I was pretty lazy with it. I was like, so I did like a quick synopsis on all of them. And I basically was like, mechanical kind of sounds the most interesting to me. So I just went with that particular engineering, but engineering in general has a lot of math in it. And that was the main thing was, my the way I excelled in math and also physics too. I heard physics was pretty big in engineering too. So, and I really enjoyed that. So, that's kind of why I ended up deciding that. But yeah, and wait, sorry.
I said, love both those topics.
Yeah, me too.
Math and physics are my two favorite. Absolutely.
Me too. And that was something, sometimes I'd literally be driving to class and I'd be like singing my heart out, like in my car, like singing some Shawn Mendes songs. And I'm like, man, I'd love to do this. But, and then I'd get into class and I'd like be around other people that I'm like, they wouldn't even be able to think about trying to do music. You know what I'm saying? And these guys, they're like, they're like balls to the walls. Like this is their life. This is their only option. Like in their minds, at least, like this is what they want to do. Whereas me, I'm like, okay, I'm good at it, but it's not like something I'm passionate about. So I would just literally go into class like, man, I wish I could just, do music. So, so it's kind of always been there. And I think finally I just was like, you know what, we're doing this.
We're going to take that step. We're going to take that leap. Is there any way, I don't know if you have like your guitar with you, but could you perform or sing Cheap Cologne? I want to hear what lyrics are around that, Cheap Cologne is such an amazing title, I think. It's a very
so I actually don't do that acoustically yet, and I don't have the track. I mean, I could like sing with the track, or we can listen to it.
That, or maybe you could do one of your original pieces. I would love for everyone in the audience to hear your amazing voice. I got the honor and privilege to hear it. So if you want to share, a couple bars,
I appreciate it.
You can sing whatever.
Okay. I mean, I could do a song I wrote that I don't. It might not even be released, but it is a song I wrote. But I enjoy singing it.
Even better. We
Okay,
get
perfect.
the private show.
All right, perfect. Yeah, let's do it.
Do it.
Thank you so much. Yeah, this one's called Remember. So basically, the concept is that, you know, this girl and guy that were in love. They're separating. They're breaking up, and it's the guy basically pleading with her to like give him one more chance, and like remember those days, where we were so in love. So that's kind of what this is about.
That's sweet.
Yeah, so that anyway, so I just kind of randomly just wrote this one time, but I'm not like personally, I'm not a super experienced songwriter. That's not really. Eventually, I want to be able to write more and more, but right now, I'm not really worried about that. I'm more worried about being a performer and a singer. And that's the thing that a lot of people don't realize as well. Like, a lot of people do write their own music, but at the same time, a lot of people don't write their own music. There's people writing for them. But so I'm kind of like, I'm indifferent, and I'd rather go with someone that has more experience and has more, they actually have a plan with their writing rather than kind of just writing randomly, which is kind of what I did with this song. But I enjoy it. But my producer has a lot more experience and knowledge with writing. So I kind of just go off of him at this point with my present music, and the music that's going to be released. I mean, I don't know, maybe one day this song will be released, but for now it's just kind of a fun one to do in the stream.
Can't wait to hear it.
Thank you so much. All right, let's see. One, two, three, four. Stay with me. One more try, I'll change your mind. You'll see. Thank you for the wheel. Every time I think of you, I cry. The thought of losing you, no lie. How will I survive? Love at first sight, I know it's true. Give me one more chance to prove it to you. Oh, remember those days. Thank you. With nothing standing in our way, never loved another quite the same. Oh, remember those times when you and I couldn't get enough. No other love could measure up. Hoping, begging, wishing that you come back. I never wanted nothing quite this bad. free. Till I got nothing left in me. Don't do it, please don't say goodbye. Want you forever in my life. I'll fight every breath I breathe. Till I got nothing left in me. Don't do it, please don't say goodbye. Want you forever in my life. Oh, remember those days with nothing standing in our way. Never loved another quite the same. Oh, remember those times when you and I couldn't get enough. No other love could measure up. And begging, wishing that you come back. I never wanted nothing quite this bad. Head bowed, eyes closed, I'm praying on my knees. No more hiding, you have all of me.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what I love? Obviously, you have an incredible voice, and but
Thank
there's a
you.
lot of incredible performers out there. But I think
Right.
what sets you apart is the passion that you sing with. Like,
Thank you.
yeah, that's what sets you apart. Is I can
I
literally
appreciate that.
feel the passion because there's so many good voices. I mean, I think you have an incredible voice, right? But the passion you bring just brings your voice to a whole other level. Like your voice is velvet in some places because of
Thank you.
how much feeling you put into it. Yeah, that was absolutely incredible. Wow.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that's
Guys, if you've
actually
not favorited him, please favorite. You gotta just hit him with a favorite. Immediately go to his streams, visit him, give him that support. You are very talented. That was amazing. That was a huge treat. Thank you for sharing that with us. Thank
yes.
you.
Thank you so much for having me on the show.
Yeah, so just to wrap up, I just discovered large view. This is amazing. This is better. Like I don't have to like dodge boxes.
Right.
Before I let you go, what words of encouragement would you give to someone who's thinking of being a musician, of taking that step?
Oh, that's a that's a good question. Um, I would say, I don't know. I think just start putting yourself out there, and just because that's kind of what I did. Like I just would slowly put myself out there, and the more I did it, the more good feedback I got. So I would say just start small, at least on my end. That's kind of where I started, and start putting yourself out there, and just keep growing. Start small. Don't set your expectations too high to start. And if you feel like you love it, and you feel like you got the talent, then yeah, I would just say
Right.
just kind of start small and just kind of build slowly, and let
Like
it
you
be
said,
a
you
let it
started
be a
with
slow
playing.
grind.
Yeah, you started with playing instruments, right? You started with guitar and piano, then you decided to focus on guitar, and just one thing led into another for you. You
Right.
met someone, he wanted to produce you, now you have a single out. So you followed steps, but it all started by picking up that guitar.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, start off by like actually, spending time trying to get better at what you do, you know,
Yeah, 100%. I
and
agree.
then, start putting yourself out there. Yeah, that's a good point too. Actually taking steps to actually, take action, and actually work hard in some manner, within that.
You gotta walk the walk. You're
Work
gonna
work
talk the
hard for
talk
sure.
and give me
Hard
the talk.
work.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you coming on here, taking time out of your day, sharing your story. You're an incredible human being, an incredible musician, and I know you just have amazing things in your future. So thank you
Hey,
again.
I
And
really
I'll get to
appreciate that.
say in 10 years, I'll be able to say, guys, I got to interview Jordan and before he became really, really big. So thank you for that. Guys, it's
Hey,
Jordan Jeremiah. Hit him with a favorite. And make sure to visit his stream. He sings on stream, obviously. If he sings for us, and he definitely sings on stream for everyone. All right.
that's
You have a good
that's
one.
pretty much. Thank you so much. Thank you everybody. Thank you guys. Thank you so much, Jules.
You're so welcome. What happens now? Oh, I just go back to regular. Oh, that was fun. Oh my gosh. What a talented, talented young man. Guys, if you enjoyed that beautiful, beautiful solo, please press one in the comments. Let me see those ones. Who think he just has an incredible and amazing voice? One, 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 one. Everyone should be spamming those ones. He is that was beautiful. That was beautiful. Very talented. Yeah, absolutely. So we're gonna go ahead and start segueing into the next part of the show. So this is where we do like maybe a little bit of trivia or we ask questions in the audience. The whole focus of the show is entrepreneurship, right? Taking that step, going out, chasing your dreams, making it big. So we're gonna do some trivia questions about some well-known entrepreneurs. So I'm gonna give you guys three options, okay? I'm gonna ask you guys a question. I'm going to give you three options and you guys are going to pick A, B, or C, okay? So this will be fun. We have a couple questions here. Good old internet. Have it pulled up. All right. Before this entrepreneur was a multi-billionaire, we all know today, he worked at McDonald's for a summer and studied their automation system. His global online marketplace uses similar models of efficiency and speed. Who is he? A, Jeff Bezos, B, Bill Gates, or C, Richard Branson? Okay, A, Jeff Bezos, B, Bill Gates, or C, Richard Branson? Okay. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of B's. All right, the answer is A. It is Jeff Bezos. I don't know who Jeff Bezos is, guys. Okay, maybe I should admit that. Speaking of McDonald's, question 2. Speaking of McDonald's, Ray Kroc, the founder of McDonald's, was famously denied a permit for franchise location in which family favorite vacation location? Okay, so he was denied a franchise location somewhere. A, Central Park, B, Disneyland, or C, Mount Rushmore. So the founder of McDonald's was denied a permit in what well-known vacation spot? See, I just said that better. A, Central Park, B, Disneyland, or C, Mount Rushmore? Okay, seeing some B's, A's, not a lot of C's. You guys don't think it's Mount Rushmore? Okay, guys, it's C. It's C. It's Mount Rushmore. Okay, I didn't know that. Okay, number 3. Which founder of Apple was fired in 1985 only to be reappointed as CEO in 1997 at the age of 42? If you watched my show last week, you would know this. A, Steve Wozniak, B, Steve Jobs, or C, Mark Zuckerberg? A, Steve Wozniak, all these names. B, Steve Jobs, or C, Mark Zuckerberg? A's, B's. The answer is B, Steve Jobs. Okay. Number 4. Many successful entrepreneurs started their brand after the age of 40. Oh, that's good news for me. I'm about to hit 30. Okay, this entrepreneur was exactly 40 when she opened her flagship bridal store in New York City. She is A, Donatella Versace, B, Peggy Olson, or C, Vera Wang? A, Versace, B, Peggy Olson, or C, Vera Wang? Okay, I'm seeing a lot of different answers here. So the answer is C, Vera Wang. Vera Wang. Okay. All right, 5. Over the last 15 years, however, some of the most successful entrepreneurs have started their brands young. Who has been reported to be on track to be the world's youngest self-made billionaire from her cosmetic company? A, Kylie Jenner, B, Rihanna, or C, Selena Gomez? A, Kylie Jenner, B, Rihanna, C, Selena Gomez. The answer is A, Kylie Jenner. Kylie Jenner. Okay, let's do a couple more, and then we're going to get to our second guest, who I'm very excited about. Okay, 6. Elon Musk, another entrepreneur, who knew, who started his business ventures young, was inspired to start SpaceX because A, manned mission hadn't been explored since the 1970s. B, he believed space travel brings humanity together. C, he wanted to inspire a belief in the future. Oh, D is A and C. So manned missions had been explored since 1970s, and he wanted to inspire a belief in the future. Or E, all the above. I feel like that's one of those tricky ones, like that math test you get where it's all the above. And like 80% of the time, it's always E, right? Okay, for 6, the answer is E. All the above. Trick question. All right. 7, Musk might not be the only entrepreneur funding travels to space. What other billionaires are working towards affordable space travel? A, Jeff Bezos. B, Richard Branson. C, neither. D, both. I love these trick questions. I love putting these on tests. A, Jeff Bezos. B, Richard Branson. C, neither. D, both. Okay. 7 is D. Both. Okay. So will be our last one. Mike, are you here? Perfect. Okay. Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook founder, gave how much money to charity in 2017? A, almost 2 billion. B, 500,000. Or C, 0. Okay. A, almost 2 billion. B, 500,000. Or C, 0. Everyone thinks he's so cheap. Guys, it's A. Almost 2 billion. Everyone's like $1, 0, nothing. He's cheap. Okay. All right, 9. Many entrepreneurs believe giving back to causes is an important way to use their wealth. Who are some of the billionaires who joined the Giving Pledge, an organization created by Bill Gates and Warren Buffett, promising to give half of their net worth to charity? A, David Rockefeller. B, Tim Cook. C, Sarah Blakely. D, B and C. Or E, all the above. So A is David Rockefeller. B, Tim Cook. C, Sarah Blakely. D is Tim Cook and Sarah Blakely. And E is all the above. What do you guys think? 9 is E, all the above. Okay, last one. Anytime it says all the above, it's all the above. Okay, 10. This is actually the last one. Sarah Blakely Founder Spanx worked what job before founding her billion-dollar empire? A, she worked in fast food. B, she was a stand-up comedian. Or C, she sold makeup door to door. A, she worked in fast food. B, she was stand-up comedian. Or C, she sold makeup door to door. Okay, seeing a lot of answers. The answer is C. She sold makeup door to door. What is Spanx? It's like a legging girls wear underneath to like smooth out their rolls and stuff, I think. Right? Is that what Spanx is? I think so. Okay. I think. All right. Okay, so that concludes our little trivia. Can I go ahead and have Mike jump in the box for a few minutes, and then we're going to have Bree at the very, very end. She's going to be a special guest. She has been killing it on the app, so we're just going to interview her for a couple minutes. So, Mike, if you can request the box. Yay!
Oh, hold on one second.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, what's going on? How are you?
Hi. I'm good. How are you? Come back. Hello from the other side. Here we go. There we go.
There we go. I'm back, hopefully, right?
Welcome back. So well, we're going to take about 10 minutes. So I just want you to explain who you are, a little background about you, just to start off.
Yeah, my name is Mike F. Bell. I am the host of Weird Science Wednesday. You probably see the thing behind my head. It's a featured show on MeetMe. I do science. I'm an engineer. I have my structural master's degree in structural engineering, and I used to work for NASA. I have an aerospace engineering background as well. I no longer do that due to disability, but doesn't mean that I don't pursue other things. For instance, Weird Science Wednesday is one of them, and I love bringing science to everybody. And hopefully, I will be able to turn this into something that I could bring to everybody, because I really have a passion for teaching and for like explaining stuff and physics. So
that's awesome. And what inspired your love for engineering?
Oh, that my love for engineering, that started with probably middle school, I would say, when I took a technology class, and that was like my first introduction to being an engineer. It was taught by a teacher. His name was Mr. Miller. He was a former engineer, and kind of taught us some of the things that really sparked an interest. And from there, I just really excelled at math and science, of course. Like, I love science. So after I got through high school, I went to university and decided, hey, engineering. So, but unfortunately, I was hit with a brain tumor, and that's when brain cancer first started, and that's when I had to get my first set of surgeries. Then I went back to school and got my bachelor's and my master's, and then I started doing work with my career and more brain surgery. And I was disabled again, had to relearn how to talk. And so it's been everything in life is all about perspective and how you look at things. It's not about starting over or anything. It's just, you know what? It's branching off and going in a new direction, because you never know. Like, things happen in your life for a reason.
Yeah, 100%. Hey, Mike, do you want to move a little bit this way? So we can see the other way? So we can see your face? A little bit more? Perfect. Yeah. That's kind of like, yeah, because
Oh, you can't.
otherwise my box is covering you a little bit. So you mentioned earlier how you're hoping that this show could lead to other opportunities. Can you talk about a little bit what you meant by that?
Yeah, absolutely. Since I'm not doing engineering anymore, because of disability and everything, I mean, you can probably see my eyes aren't perfect, but it doesn't prevent me from having a shitload of knowledge that I could bring to everybody. I really like explaining different things, and how I see Meet Me is an opportunity for me to grow my fan base and hopefully make this into either a YouTube channel or something bigger that gains me the popularity. I want to be like the next Bill Nye, but only I'm way cuter and plus cooler.
Plus you work for NASA, so
Yeah.
you got that over him, right? That's awesome. So your show, YouTube is a great idea. So you mentioned earlier how you like being a teacher. What do you like about that role? What do you like about teaching?
What
What
do I like
inspired
about
you?
teaching? Well, I have a son. I have a 6-year-old son, and I homeschool him actually because since I'm disabled, I'm like, you know what? I have extra time, so I'm going to homeschool
Like
him.
I can do it better
Actually,
than you
reading,
anyway.
not to brag, but he reads Harry Potter books, and he's 6 years old.
Wow.
Yeah,
Smart
that's
kid.
pretty fantastic,
He's
right?
gonna work for NASA too, right?
Yeah, well, I hope, or maybe he'll work for. I'd rather him work for SpaceX, honestly.
Oh, fair enough, fair enough.
Yeah,
Oh, that's so awesome. You have a son. Oh, that's very sweet. So, okay, so tell us a little bit about like a little bit about your past. Do you have siblings? Where are you from?
of course. I was born in the Northeast in Jersey. I have 3 younger brothers, and
Hmm,
so I'm the oldest, which is pretty cool.
the smartest, obviously.
Yeah, of course, the smartest, the most handsome, the most charming. I mean, I can go on and on, but
Yeah, that's awesome. I have 4 younger brothers, and I'm the oldest. So
4 younger brothers. Okay, so it's similar to how I am. I have three
yeah,
younger brothers.
absolutely. Yeah, we're we're the bosses. We're used to it.
The
It's always
boss.
that way.
Everybody look at me because I'm sailing in the sea.
Exactly. So where do you, just to wrap up a little bit, where do you see yourself in 10 years?
10 years? Well, 10 years. Let's see.
We could do 5 years. 5 years is probably easier to
Yeah, I
imagine.
don't do 10-year plans. I do
Let's
5-year
do
plans.
a
But
5 year
5-year
plan.
plans, I'll be in the White House.
Oh, nice. What are you doing in the White House?
What do you think I'll be doing? I'll be
Like
running
doing
for president 2024.
2024. Hey, listen, we need some smart people in office, so I hear you.
Exactly. I think first I need to get myself on President Biden's Science Council.
There you go. You can use the show as a
Yeah,
segue
use the
into
show, elevate myself to Science Council. That'd be awesome.
Well, hey, I thank you so much for jumping on. I appreciate you. Everyone, please make sure you save Mike. He has a show, Weird Science. I stopped in briefly. It's really cool,
Yeah,
actually. He's
Weird
a paper
Science.
guy,
It's
and
on
it's a good
Wednesdays,
experience.
3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific time. So come out. We do do experiments. I do usually 3 new experiments every week, along with talking about the latest in space news. So whether it be SpaceX or Blue Origin, or it could even be Virgin Galactic. It doesn't matter. Whatever's happening, I cover it, and we have fun.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, thank you.
You're
Appreciate
totally
you.
welcome. Thank you for the time, and I appreciate you having me up here. I'll see you around, Jewelz. You take care, okay? Live long and prosper.
Absolutely. Always. But guys, make sure that you definitely hit my 2 guests with a favorite, Jordan and Mike. Bree, if you are here, would you mind jumping in my box for a couple minutes? You have some really good guests. It's really cool to, talk to people and just kind of find out where they're from and, what they've been through and what it took to get to where they are. It's amazing. Like entrepreneurship might not be an easy path, but it's a very rewarding one, that's for sure. Hi, Bree. How are you, hon?
Good. How are you, my darling?
I'm good. So, guys, I wanted to bring Bree on really briefly because she has been absolutely killing it on here. Can you tell everyone how long you've been on the app and how many diamonds you have? Hello?
So, I've been on the app for 3 months, and I actually, about 10 minutes ago, I just hit my 17 milli.
17 million, 3 months. That's absolutely insane.
Yeah, and I'm at 14,207 in faves.
Wow, that's amazing. So what has this app done for you? Like what do you feel like you have gained from streaming?
Honestly, I think kind of the big one that I think people don't really mention is the mental health it's kind of given me.
Absolutely.
So I'm not a hugely depressed person, but when COVID hit, I'm a high risk, and both my children are. So um, I had to pull both of my kids, thank you, out of school because
Mhm.
obviously it just wasn't safe for them. So I now homeschool my two children and my nephew during the day, but I had no outlet for anything else. I was just home with three kids all day long, stressed out and dealing with homeschool life, and it's terrible. And
I
someone told me, "Hey, try out Meet Me," and I was like, "What the heck? Now, what does Meet Me?" They're like,
Mhm.
"You go on and stream, and you have the personality for it. Just try it." And I was like, "Y'all are crazy." He's like, "No, no, go try it. They like drop you gifts, and people come in and talk to
You
you."
just talk and they drop
And
gifts on you.
I'm like, "What do you mean they drop gifts? How they drop?" Like I had no idea what he meant. Like I'm thinking like there's little Christmas presents that just show up on the screen, and I'm like, "That's cool, I guess." Sparkles, I love you, baby. But I had no clue. And then one day I was like, you know what? All right. So I was upstairs folding laundry and I just turned it on. And I sat there and within 30 minutes, I had like 400 people in my room.
That's awesome.
And at the time, I didn't realize like what kind of a deal that was.
Yeah, it's a huge deal. Absolutely.
Yeah, but it just took off. And I mean, I have people that I met my best friend on this app, VJ Mac. He's the first person I talk to every morning. We do a morning show on this app. You know, he's the last person I talk to at night.
Yeah.
And I've met so many incredible people that people don't realize it's not all about the diamonds.
100%.
You know, the connections that you make on here are
Mhm.
so important, and what you can do on here is even more. You know,
Mhm.
I base a lot of my live about, you know, mental health and how I can help people because we're all going through something at home. You know, and I try to remember every time you talk to someone, you're not just talking to a screen. There's still somebody on the other side of it.
And you don't know
So
what they're
while
going through, you don't know their story, you don't know where they came from. Absolutely.
exactly.
Absolutely.
And you know, I have people come to my live that have literally seconds before found out they lost somebody and they need someone to talk to. I've had
Yeah.
people that come in struggling with substance abuse and they're like, you know, what do I do next? And I've gotten
Mhm.
phone numbers. I've literally given someone, I've gotten a call at 2 a.m, gotten on live, gotten out of bed because somebody told me someone was going to actually hurt themselves on live. And I stayed up for almost 8.5 hours with the town police that I needed to be on the phone with in case, and the hotline with them. And I sat there and talked them through it. He went and then got help, and he's doing amazing now. He's no longer on the app because of all the stress the app caused him.
Mhm.
But in my eyes, I helped somebody get through something that not a lot of people can help.
100%.
You know, and even if I help one person, at the end of the day, just turn around and smile when they leave this app, that means something. Whether it be big or small.
Yeah, and you touch on a really big point. I think as streamers, we have this responsibility, I think, to uplift people, right? It's kind of like our unspoken duty. Like it enriches my life if I make someone else's day better. You know, like
so
I go
does.
into my everyday life feeling good and feeling like I made a difference in the world. And that's like, I can be completely honest, like if everything disappeared, right, and the diamonds disappeared, I would still stream. 100%.
Yeah.
I would still stream because I have a community on here, I have a family on here, and we have to be here for them. We do.
Exactly.
We want to be here for them. Yeah.
And I think that's the big part. People forget that on the other side of the screen, whether it's in the comments or whether they're live, that there's still somebody else behind it.
100%.
You know, I try to remember when I'm talking to my stream, I look at myself in the eyes as if I'm talking to those people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I read my question, I make sure I greet every person that walks in.
Mm-hmm.
I go to different lives. One of my favorite things to do is to go to the new lives and just drop for people. You know, I'm a level 56 gifter. I've put a lot of work in this app, but I love going to new lives and seeing that someone that's got 100 diamonds drop a 10K gift and they lose their mind.
Mm-hmm.
You know, one of my big kind of secret flexes is, you know, if I happen to walk in somewhere and I hear people talking about how they went negative for this or that, I'll put people into the positive.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think anybody on this app deserves to be in the negative. We all put a lot of work in, and that people that make us go negative don't care about us, but there's still so many of us here that do care that we can all help.
100%.
And,
yeah.
you
We should
know,
all uplift each other.
exactly.
I agree. Well, I think honestly, like you are obviously someone the app needs, right? A positive role model.
Thank you.
The love you've gotten back is deserved, obviously, and we all know why you're doing so well. It's because you're giving in a lot of love. So therefore, the universe is hearing it and they're bringing the love back to you because that's how it works, right? It's a circle. But I just want to thank you for stopping in. I appreciate you guys. Make sure you fave Bree Baby for top badge. I see your supporters in here throwing out your emoji.
I love y'all.
Supporting you.
DJ.
Make sure, guys, you favorite all my guests. Once again, thank you so much for popping in, sweetie.
Thank you, honey. Bye.
Bye. All right, and that concludes episode 2 of The Big Idea. If you are interested in being on the show, please reach out to me via Instagram, Miss Jewelz G, or you can come talk to me in my chat, or you can slide in my DMs. I'm looking for people who are current entrepreneurs and they have a story to share, or people who are trying to be entrepreneurs and they just want to talk about, you know, their ideas and where they're going in life. The purpose of my show is to explore the backstories. Where are these people coming from? What's motivating them, right? What problems and trials have they encountered on the way to their dreams? So I'm really excited for this show. If you guys want to be on it, please go ahead, let me know. The way we have it structured is we have a guest, we have a little bit trivia, some kind of fun in the middle, and then we have our second guest. This time we had 3 guests just because, you know, I've been blessed. I have several people interested in being on here. So I want to make sure I fit everybody in. So once again, guys, you guys are awesome. I'm going to end the stream and come back. We'll have a little post show. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.